Our report will highlight information on Airbnb's marketing strategies in response to the pandemic, challenges and changes, successes and failures, and recommendations for the board to consider. Airbnb attracts travel enthusiasts from all over the world with affordable prices and personalized experiences, as well as other marketing models. But who is Airbnb's target market? Typically, they focus on Gen Z, millennials, and young families who are price sensitive. We will use the marketing mix framework to analyze the advantages and disadvantages of Airbnb's marketing during this pandemic. Airbnb does not directly provide a product or service to hosts or guests, but instead acts as a middleman. Property listings are provided directly by hosts to customers, which stems from the initial idea of owners turning living rooms into bed and breakfasts. Now they have expanded beyond living rooms to entire houses, castles, boats, and many more lodgings. A current challenge they are facing is that their properties must all be sanitized and clean due to government policy, but because they are not direct providers, it is difficult for Airbnb to monitor all host cleaning standards. While the marketing strategy of most companies is fundamentally focused on the informational technology as a primary source of advertisement, Airbnb uses TV advertising, but also the social media and cooperation with influencers and celebrities that would attract more customers into the company. As stated by Rust, the main strategy that marketers are trying to achieve now is focusing on customers' lifetime values and customer equity, or marketing myopia. This is evident in Airbnb as they carried out several public activities helping homeless people with accommodation. Airbnb has listings across 220 countries but owns 0 properties. There is no specific physical Airbnb place. The entire process of booking a property from a host is online. This is a contemporary way of offering a service to customers, which is a marketing strategy success. In most cases, if a host or guest needs to solve any problems, they can only be resolved through several FAQs that have been answered online. The problem has been exacerbated by the limitations on face-to-face interactions due to the pandemic. This is a challenge which Airbnb needs to address, as guests have reported receiving less cash refunds than they are entitled to, possibly due to this barrier to communication. Airbnb must find ways to improve communication during these restricted times. The company has been able to achieve a competitive margin of its profits as a result of working broadly with several countries and hundreds of hosts. This is a success for them. Airbnb charge commission on transactions made on the site. The host is charged 3% of its listing price, and the guest pays 6 to 12% of a service charge. Unfortunately now, prices have dropped on average by $90 per listing, and obviously there was a huge drop in demand in cities, resulting in a big loss of sales. In early 2020, Airbnb was set to debut on the stock exchange with an impressive valuation of $50 billion, but by late March reservations had dropped by 80% according to the Wall Street Journal. The inherent nature of the business operations were at the forefront of this damage. This is an example of where their marketing management techniques could be improved. Kotler suggests for marketing managers to be more controlling by implementing some organization strategies, such as having a dashboard with plans on it. Plans like these would allow Airbnb to have been more organized and avoid losses and navigate through the pandemic better. Whether the company can recover from the coronavirus and at what pace is dependent primarily on their consumer base and the ability of management to create sustainable marketing model long term. In Seema Mehta's journal, the author focuses on the importance of understanding the consumer needs, which is something Airbnb desperately need to do in this time. The digital age has made it easy to obtain large amounts of information. Data overload does not mean improved insight. How to analyze the data is far more important than collecting data. Airbnb views data as the voice of the customer, and the data science as the interpretation of that voice. From the early days, their team met with community members to learn how to make their products suitable for their needs. But as the size of the community grows, the feasibility of contacting everyone in every place is greatly reduced, especially in the context of the COVID pandemic. Although Airbnb's offline business development has been greatly impacted due to COVID, the data queried by online users continues to grow, and the users' business requirements are becoming more refined and specific. Managers are under increasing pressure to develop new skills or recruit more suitable and experienced personnel within a limited budget. To this end, Airbnb's data system must be more reliable and scalable. It powers Airbnb's score analytical use cases, and any downtime will have serious impact on the business and its employees. Clients and agencies should pool their resources and jointly create a system for collecting and utilizing customer insights. Data analysis in a more collaborative way will greatly reduce possible marketing marginalizations and client organization discretization. By constructing a more complete data analysis model, It will deepen management's understanding of big data and improve Airbnb's maturity in matching and personalization. In addition, Airbnb should also develop a more powerful anomaly detection system to reduce data system errors. Consumers need extra protection during this pandemic. According to Kumar, there is a strong emphasis on the need for customer personalization and the need for businesses to adapt a strategy that would target the customer to engage with the brand and achieve a memorable experience. This is evident in Airbnb. They have emphasized the personalization offering and memorable experience for the target market. The company focuses on the lifetime values again by branching out a new target market consisting of frontline workers during the pandemic. This again adds value to the competitive forces depicted by Kumar, which have a positive impact on their position towards their competitors and highly focus on a holistic marketing approach. The company has developed an algorithm that would let hosts check the trustworthiness of its guests. While this is a clear example of stage 2 of Wang and Rust's 3 stages of AI taking over repetitive tasks, we can see that this assumes analytical tasks in which AI is intuitive about the guests. Airbnb's use of AI and data analysis has been key to their success to this point. To this day, the company is still innovating in new ways to grow their business through the technological avenue. For instance, in 2019, they announced some new software, Price Tips. This is an algorithm which would inform hosts about the likelihood of receiving bookings at certain prices. This allowed Airbnb to influence the price setting such that they receive more bookings for their listings. Airbnb at the minute is predominantly a lodging service, but their robust data analytics offers them the opportunity to expand greatly. In this new data-driven world, competitive requirements are not clearly centered around specialization, and more to do with universal capabilities in data sourcing, processing, analytics, and algorithm development. These are capabilities which Airbnb have in spades. This would allow them to easily enter into other industries as a digital broker, like they did in the lodging industry. While Airbnb's service is predominantly AI, they are still focusing on HI. It is using AI to determine whether guests are trustworthy or not through its engineering and data science team, which makes use of Airbnb's extensive data warehouse to analyze and predict user behavior. This perhaps will eliminate any additional costs that could arise with the issue of guests misusing their properties. Even though AI is highly visible in conducting repetitive tasks, such as sending generated messages to potential guests that can't get an instant message from the host due to time differences, the management still relies on HI. As stated by Roland, one of the key implications for a company's strategy goals is the creation of feeling jobs, where employees want to focus on empathy and interpersonal relationships. Therefore, it is crucial for Airbnb to focus on HI and employ people who would create this atmosphere. Looking into the future, it is necessary to review long-term trends that reshape markets. This will give marketing managers a glimpse of what the future of Airbnb's marketing could look like. According to Rust, there are 3 major forces that are changing markets, which are technological trends, socioeconomic trends, and geopolitical trends. From a technological standpoint, Airbnb has been adhering to many recent technological trends, such as various AI and HI systems. The pandemic has caused many corporations to lose sight of some priorities, like how they are making the customer feel. Airbnb's marketing manager should continue to implement technological advancements that nurture the relationship with their users, even in this stressful and uncertain period. Airbnb are familiar with respecting and encouraging the heterogeneity of their target market. Their mission is to belong everywhere. According to Rust, inequality of wealth and discrimination can hinder marketing techniques in the long term, making them less effective and appealing to a contemporary and diverse market. While the pandemic has not altered their brand mission to belong anywhere, the current market condition is uncertain. In addition to this, we see a further rise of discrimination in 2020. This has and should impact the marketing of corporations, as marketing must be modern and relevant. They hired an anti-discrimination specialist to review the platform. They have also been working with racial justice organizations. They have a channel in which they list properties that are not adhering to their anti-discrimination policies. Airbnb achieved an enhanced cleaning certificate as they underwent training in how to properly sanitize properties. The company claims to adhere to new norms of sanitization and social distancing. This is a clear example of how geopolitical trend can affect the workplace. Airbnb should conduct more market research on how the consumer behavior is and might change during the pandemic to ensure customer loyalty and avoid profit loss. Airbnb should regularly perform SWOT analysis to be alert with what's happening in the contemporary market. A concept which could help Airbnb and which is currently on their radar is the use of augmented reality and virtual reality to 3D map Airbnb listings for customers to view. boosting customer satisfaction as customers will know exactly what to expect when they book.